Well, today I am at Mesa Verde National Park in Colorado. Currently at the Visitor Center, which is a must-see stop. You need to pick up a map because it's a lot of driving, a lot of area. You can easily spend a couple days here wandering around, and if you're going to do hiking, you can spend a lot more time than that. Very nice visitor center, nice restrooms, and you can get your free map inside. And if you're like me, you always buy something just to stick it on the shelf that collects dust. I'll tell you, I've been a lot of places and I got a lot of stuff and a lot of dust, so if anybody needs free dust, just let me know. Alright, I'm going to get in the car and check out the map and see where we're off to first. Alright, our first stop today is at the Mancos Overlook, just maybe a mile or so from the Visitor Center in Mesa Verde. If this is any indication of what the park's like, it's going to be absolutely beautiful. A couple points of interest if you don't go to national parks very often like me. When you come in, they're going to want to sell you an $80 annual pass to get in all the national parks. I don't go to that many national parks, so I kind of balked at that. And then they say, well, you can go ahead and pay $30 for a day pass. So, well, it is what it is. However, they did say, look, if you're over 67 or 65, which I clearly am, you can get a discount on the annual pass. Instead of $80, it's $20, which is $10 cheaper than the day pass. So I have myself a $20 one-year senior pass. So that's important if you're coming here and you're not familiar with national parks. Go for the cheap one. It's good for a year. It's good for, I think, most national parks and some national monuments. I'm not sure which ones, but it's certainly worth 20 bucks. So there's Carter Cash's how to save money on a trip where you can't save money tip. All right, we're going to continue up the road. It appears like it's going to take at least a couple hours to drive around, and it's supposed to rain today, so we'll see what we can see. All right, here's their second pullover. This is the Montezuma Valley Overlook, and this is Knife Edge. I'll hold that there if you want to try to read that. I believe I saw a sign that said roughly we're at 8,500 feet elevation. And I'll tell you what, when you look over the edge here, it's quite a ways down. And there's no safety fence, so Carter Cash is going to walk right up to this dead tree and grab that branch and hang out as far over the edge as he possibly can to get the best photos for you. Alright, so let's continue on up. I'll tell you what, if you don't like high elevations and cliffs, this isn't the drive for you. It definitely is on the edge, and I think the speed limit's 35. So we'll see what's next. We are on our walk down to Cliff House. Said it's about a 5-minute walk down here. Well, I certainly have to say it is impressive up here. It is a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. And on the way back, I'll show you there was apparently a forest fire up here a few years ago. It did a significant amount of damage to the trees. I don't think it hurt the cliff houses at all. Oh, as a matter of fact, you can see some across the valley there. Oh, there's a nice overlook here. And stairs. And you know Carter Cash loves stairs. Okay. This has my name written all over it. We're not going to be visiting the cliff dwellings and strenuous hiking and climbing. So that ain't going to happen. But I'll take a picture of it for you. Bye. Now, for somebody that's just fallen down and had a hamstring, that's strenuous hiking right there. Wow, this is impressive. Yes, it is. If you can see over there, and I don't know how well the GoPro does on long distance, but directly across the valley at the top of those trees, you can see some of the other cliff dwellings. I imagine they are just tucked in all of these little nooks and crannies all along this valley. But here's the main one, Cliff House. Alright, a couple of things about Cliff House that I didn't know before I got here. First, if you want to go down and go through these ruins, you'll have to be on a guided tour by a park ranger. And to go on that tour, you have to have a ticket. And the tour tickets, you can't buy them here at the park. You have to get them online. So important to know, if you want to go on a tour of the ruins, make sure you get your tickets in advance. If you look down there at the ruins of Cliff House, you can see the tour which just left as I got down on this observation platform. Well, considering it's 90 degrees sunny and hot, and I'm dressed for 50-degree cold and rain, there's not a chance in hell I was going to go down there and climb around on any of that. So let's head back up to the car and see what we can find next. But before I tackle those stairs, let's take one last look at this valley. This is absolutely breathtaking. This is almost a quintessential magical western place. Well, I made it to Balcony House, only to find out that you actually park on top of the cliff above Balcony House, which you can't see from this side. Between the heat and the elevation, I about died just going up those 25 steps back to the car at Cliff House, so the chances of me going down here and seeing this today in the heat and the way I'm dressed, this is as close as Carter Cash is going to get to it. Well, I'm just going to hazard a guess and say, I think if I'd walked down to Balcony House, this is the view you would probably get from Balcony House, which is pretty impressive for a front yard view. However, I'm not walking down there, and I don't know if you'll get this view or not from down there because Carter Cash didn't do any research at all before he came here. Otherwise, he'd know better. So, yes, you're right. You don't have to leave me a lot of nasty comments about not doing my research. I should have, but I didn't. So now it's back to the car and the air conditioning. Alright, I'm going to try the fire damage thing one more time, this time with the microphone plugged in. What I was saying is there's been in the past some fairly significant fire damage done up here. And looks like it's been a number of years because there is quite a bit of growth coming back. But one of the things that surprised me about this is when you're in the area that didn't burn, it just gives you the illusion that you're at the bottom of a valley and driving around and, you know, there's nothing miles and miles both ways. You're just in the woods. But when you come out into these areas that have had fire burn, all of a sudden you realize that, I'm on the top of something here, you know, maybe a quarter mile to the right, mile maybe to the left, and then there's just great big cliffs. So up here it looks like a great big flat, it looks like just like a great big old flat area of upper plains or desert or woods. But I guess when you're on the top of a plateau, that's by definition what a plateau does. But even if you look over there, you can see it's a long ways that it's burned. And you wouldn't think you're really necessarily on the top of a plateau until you see these deep canyons that are carved in. Now, how people found their way up here is amazing. And I would guess it was probably a pretty safe place to live. I think most of the people, you know, if you're nomadic tribes or something down in the valley, would look at it and go, shit, I ain't gonna climb that. I don't care what's up there. So
I'm about 10 miles from being back to the entrance to the park, which is just off Highway 160. I just passed Park Peak, which I'm guessing is the highest part of the park at around 8,500 foot elevation. I didn't film this coming in, and I should have, because it's a pretty exciting drive. Luckily, the speed limit is set around 35 miles an hour, and I've already seen a park ranger writing somebody a ticket, I'm guessing, for speeding. There are definitely some great vistas to see. I don't know how well you can see any of them from the fixed point camera I have mounted here. However, if I miss a curve and go over the edge, you're going to get one fantastic short, brief video about how far down it is before I burst into flames. Hopefully that's not going to happen. I'm not that desperate to get views on a YouTube video. So I'm just going to leave this camera on and record until either the camera overheats or the batteries explode. Maybe I can find some nice music to close out this visit to Mesa Verde National Park. Oh, and in case you're wondering, I give this place an A. It's right up there with the Great Smokies as being a great national park to visit. It was just an excellent, excellent place. I'm just sorry it took me 73 years to visit it. I would have loved to explore it when I was a little younger, and I could have got out and done some stuff.